Hi friends, MD Vegan. It's time for a live bakery again. I want to make a cheesecake, a very simple one, just one extra, that is a white chocolate layer on top. So I make a very simple cheesecake, yeah, with cashews, bananas and coconut oil and a bottom with simple. I show you the bottom immediately. This is the form, yeah, it's a Springform. It's not a big one, yeah. Lined with parchment paper. Here, I press the dough into here. That's live bakery is super easy. Yeah. Easiest way to make a cake. And if I want to get my non-vegan friends, family, and so excited for vegan food, who would say earlier they didn't like, but the cakes, wow, they're like, what, really? Yeah. So easy. I need usually the easiest crust is with almonds. That's a classic here. Yeah, just 1.5 cups, almost 2 cups. That depends on whether you have a big or a thick or a thin, and a dozen or so dates. Yeah. The more dates you take, the easier you can press the dough together. I'll show you in a moment. What I need for this crust is the food processor fitted with the S-blade. This is the S-blade, so-called food processor, and this is a perfect tool. I didn't have it at first, and I couldn't make this cake. Very simple. You can't make it without. You need something to get the almonds into a meal. Put the almonds into the food processor, and I found that before the dates go in, I will process the almonds quickly to save time, actually. This is a course meal. That's what I call a course meal. You see, it looks like this, course meal. When I put the dates in right from the beginning, it takes a lot longer to get this course meal with the dates. So I make the course meal, then I put the dates, the dozen here, about a dozen dates or so, almost 2 cups almonds, a dozen dates. And I make a special flavor today, in harmony with the almonds, vanilla. That is a very precious seasoning. And as I have a white chocolate cake today, very special, I put some vanilla into my dough. You don't need that, yeah? That is a fancy thing. I try, let's see, kind of cinnamon or nothing at all. Just the minimum you need is almonds and dates. That's the minimum. Can get the dough. I'll show you in a moment. Now, again, I need a sticky dough now. First course meal. Second is sticky dough now. I guess that's my sticky dough. And it takes maybe 2 minutes or so. 2 minutes, the blender dance would be a little bit long, so I cut it short. Yeah, to save you some time. Here, this is the sticky dough. And it's now crucial that you get the right texture here. When I press it between the fingers, it sticks together. That's why we call it sticky dough. Yeah. And if you over-process too long, then you get a marzipan. Who wants a marzipan? That's a different story. I get a very nice texture for a nice crust with the sticky dough. So all I need to do now, I just put the dough into this form, lined with the parchment paper. So it's easier to get out of to get the cake out. Yeah. So I now put the sticky dough onto the ground with the alignment. That's an easy way to do it. Easy way. So that's all I need here. And now, first, I spread it evenly everywhere. Yeah. So it's everywhere now. And I want to have an even crust. So not like this, not like in a tart, no, just a crust. So that's why I spread it evenly. And then once it's spread, I can begin to press it with the fist, with a knuckle, just like that. You can also take tools if you have, some people have tools for that. I take my fist, that's easy. Begin very gently, like this, to get it into the desired shape. I want an even layer. And then I begin to put more pressure. And I will take some more time here, because this is an important part. If I don't get that right, my cake will fall apart when I cut out a piece. So this is important. Take some time. I come back in a moment and show you the result. I do the same now for some time, and I come back in a moment. So the crust is done, and this is what it looks like. See, this is pretty firm. And what I did is, in the end, I took my fingers and pressed the fingers down to the sides so that the sides are more firm. Yeah. And that is something I want to want to tell you. So if you want to do that, it's a nice trick. First you press it down, and then you go once around with the fingers and press the sides even more down. And you have a nice crust, wonderful bottom for the cake. So first layer is my crust. That's done. Second layer is the cheese layer. So for that I need a blender, and I have some cashews. So that's the main layer, the cheesecake, and it is very simple. For a cheese, to make something like a cheese, you have here for this, I would say for this cake here, for this size, I have 2 cups of cashews. Okay, but before the cashews, I put 1 banana in. 1 banana before the cashews, because the blades from the blender, they have an easier job when I put the bananas first and then the cashews. And also a lemon, half a lemon. And the cheese is a little bit sour. That is now here an illusion. I fake it a little bit with a lemon, half a lemon, not too much, just a little bit. Not a real cheese, of course. You can make it very fancy. You can make a real cheese. You can ferment it. Then it takes some days to make the cheese, so that's all possible, but that's not necessary. I think it's easier like this, and it's also very delicious. And I have some dates here, just to make it a little bit sweeter. After all, it is a white chocolate cheesecake. The cheese can be a little bit sweeter. So I put some dates. I have 4 or 5 dates on top of it, and that's it. So I guess I need a small amount of water, just a droplet, to get the blender going. Not for texture, just for the technique of the blender. So I don't want the least amount of water possible, because I want to have a firm cheese, not too runny. So just to get the blender started, you see, smallest amount of water here. It's not much. Otherwise, I might be stuck, and I will see that in a moment. Blending cashews is not always easy. Let's see, blender dance. Before I can make the dance, I have to use a little more water, because you see it is just too firm, too dry for the cheese, for the blender. So a little bit more water, small amount, another small amount, just not even half a cup together. Let's try it again. There's some subtlety here. I really want to minimize the water, not too much banana. The more banana you take, the less water you need. It's a little runnier, but I want it not to do so much. So let's see. I will taste it, because now there's one more ingredient. That's the coconut oil. Yeah. Goes in the direction of cheese. I take a smallest amount of water in addition. So one more blending. get a little bit creamier. That's the right direction. And I have a trump here. I have it always this year. This coconut oil is also liquid. So if I put the coconut oil at last here, I can also get a nicer texture for the cheese, because here it is here. See, a third of a cup or so coconut oil. Here the water bath, hot water, coconut oil on top, liquefies pretty fast. But when I put it in the refrigerator, it will firm up and I have a firm cheese to cut pieces out of it. But I put it later here, not from the start, because when I put it in right away in there, it will be thrown to the sides of the blender and stick to the sides. It will not go into the cheese. Yeah. And that's not good. It has to be in the cheese, not in the blender wall. So that's why I put it last. And now at the same time, it will also liquefy the texture, and then I have a nicer texture for the cheese. So one more blending. I hope it works now. I mean, before I do that, careful. I will stir it a little bit to make sure the oil is really in the cheese and not the blender. That's just an easy way, because when I blend too fast, too abruptly now, then I might put the cheese again, the oil again up to the walls of the blender, and then I have nothing won. So I stir it a little bit. Should be just a little careful here. Oh, and now I feel safer now. And that's the thing. I want to use the least amount of water possible and have a nice, firm, cheesy texture. Let me taste it, because the nuts need to be really smooth, yeah, creamy. And then I don't want to have any pieces left in the cream. So I have to blend it thoroughly. Let me taste it. Okay. It's nice and cheesy. One more time. But, you know, here there was a half lemon, I said. Remember? That's the other half. And I would just press the other half, just a little bit of juice, taking out the pits here, the seeds. Just a little bit more sour flavor. It's a little bit cheesier then. That's all. You can always change the flavor a little bit according to your liking. Give me one more taste. Yeah, nice. So one lemon. I had a half lemon first, now I say one lemon. What I do now, tastes wonderful. I put it onto the second layer, onto the first layer, the crust. Now the cheese here, the cheese layer, you see? The texture is firm, as it should. Yeah, it's still runny. Yeah. But I will have to use my tool here, my little tool, to get everything out of the blender. Still very creamy. It's the right amount. Yeah, so it will not be a huge cheesecake, will be a nice little cheesecake, not so high, not so heavy, and that's the right way I would like it. Not too thin, not too thick, the layers. So I have tried to get out everything because it is a very precious, precious cashew cheese here, so I don't want to waste it. I'll show you in a moment what I do. So now I made it even surface here. Then I show you what it looks like. So you could, if you would like to, you could use this cheesecake as is. Yeah. If I put that into the refrigerator now, like that, put this in the refrigerator with a little foil on top, that would firm up and I had a perfect cheesecake. You see, it's not that high. It's a nice little cheesecake. This is the height, by the way. Not much, it's nice. And I will put that into the, actually I will put that into the freezer now for a moment, come back in a moment, and then I show you when it's a little bit firm, not completely firm, I'll show you my third layer, the white chocolate cream on top. In a moment I'll be back and show you. So that was, well, 10 minutes or so. I used the time to clean up a little bit, and that is now my first layer, or my second layer here. You see, I can shake a little bit and it's just pretty firm already, but not, I couldn't cut a piece out of it now. After 10 minutes or so, that would still run away if I cut it. I have to stay overnight in the refrigerator or so, and then tomorrow when I get it out of the refrigerator, I can cut out a piece and I'll show you that. But first now, I want to have a little bit of surface here, not runny anymore, as you see before. It shouldn't run away, but now I can make the top layer, the white chocolate cream, or white chocolate layer. So it should be a cream, it should be a white chocolate layer, not a cream. It should firm up too. So I have washed my blender, and by the way, I didn't just wash it, I put, there was something in there. You saw there was this, the cheese was in there yet. So I put a banana extra, a little bit of lemon, some water, and a nice drink. I don't waste it. So that just let you know how to do that, how I do that. I don't waste it. And then the rest, of course, I wash out. But now it's dry again. I can, and you know, by the way, when you have this kind of cake, when you have a cheese here, cashew cheese, and the second layer, the top, is again kind of cashew. Here again I have the same ingredients basically. It's easier now. I have one banana and half cup of cashews or so, a small amount. It's basically the same ingredients. No lemon, no dates, and no coconut oil that go in there here. But the difference is only here, cacao butter. That makes the chocolate. Cacao butter makes the chocolate, and it's also here in the water bath, you see. And then the cacao butter is on top of here. It is almost liquid. It doesn't need to be 100% liquefied. It doesn't matter because in original state it's very hard. It's hard like a stone almost. And I scrape it with the chef's knives on the cutting boards so it folds into small pieces, thin. And then I put it on a water bath, and then it's melting pretty fast. When it comes into the cashews with the banana, it becomes into a chocolate, a white chocolate. That's all you need to do to make your own chocolate. You don't even need a banana. You can only take nuts. You can take some dates instead of the bananas, whatever you like. I want to make it easy. The banana helps me to get the cashews blended. You saw that before. I take a smallest amount of water, again, just a little bit to get the blender going. It's easier now because I have a smaller layer, just a smaller cashews, not 2 cups. That's easier. Let's see if it works. see, and that's just to show you again. Now the blender is full. Yeah, the sides are full of this cashew cream. And that would happen with the cacao butter or with the coconut oil. Would happen the same. And then when the coconut oil hits the walls here, it cools down and gets firm. So you don't have it in the cream. You have it on the blender walls. You don't want that. So I always put the liquid parts that firm up afterwards, the coconut oil or the cacao butter like here, I put that in last always to avoid that. So I put it in now. Get a little spoon here to help it. And that has an amazing flavor. You would think that doesn't matter if you take coconut oil or cacao butter, it's all the same. No, it's a whole different story. You know, the cacao butter is really, it opens up the heart. It's so warm, so full of energy. It's totally different from coconut oil. Coconut oil is just to firm up the cheese a little bit, and the cacao butter is to make a chocolate. Yeah. It's a white chocolate, very simple. Let's see. I will just blend it now to get it creamy, and then I have my layer. Blender dance. These tools here, blender, food processor, are the most amazing tools in the kitchen. Since I have them, didn't have them from the start, that's such a big difference. It can make so many things here I couldn't make before. Power blender and a food processor. If you don't have one, think hard about it. It's really good too. So let me check it first here. Maybe I have to blend one more time. Also here, it has to be very creamy. Chocolate hasn't, I don't want chunks in there. I can taste the chocolate already, but some chunks yet, so one more blending is needed. The chocolate flavor is already there. It's like alcohol almost, wow. But without alcohol, as it is, honestly. One more blender dance. That should do it now. Second blending. The cashews, they take some more time, yeah, to get really creamy. But that should do it now. I'll check. Looks very nice. Looks very nice, yeah. Taste it. That looks creamy enough. Wow. That will be a chocolate soon. Now it's still runny, and I show you what it looks like, so you have a little bit of impression. See, this is the color of the cheese with the banana, a little bit browning here, just the smallest amount. And here is the chocolate, the white chocolate. And this is a different color. You can see that if you look closely. You see the white on brown. It's a chocolate cheesecake. That's why I call it. That's how I call it. You see, it's a thin layer. You don't need that much. White chocolate is very precious. Yeah, it shouldn't be too heavy. The nuts in there are not that heavy. They have a lot of fat. That's true. But if you have raw nuts, they have really an advantage to roasted nuts, because the raw nuts, even if they have a lot of fat, no doubt, they don't make you fat. That's funny, right? I didn't know that either. I was in doubt. Eating so many nuts, is that good? I read so much about it. Some people say don't do that, or that is not so good, it's too fat, you get fat. But then they made studies, big studies, and scientific studies, solid studies, and they showed if the nuts are raw, you can eat hands full of nuts every day in addition to what you regularly eat, so many more calories than your usual food, and you over time, over a longer time even, you will not gain weight. Thousands of people, nobody gained weight, they rather lost weight. And they wondered, how is that possible? You eat more calories and lose weight from nuts? Yeah, the raw nuts, they think, they have some ideas about it, the scientists, yeah. They think in the nuts there is a substance, the raw nuts. The substance makes the cells of the body burn more energy. So the additional energy you take in gets burned, and even more so. You rather lose weight than gain weight. That's why these cakes, these raw food cakes with nuts, the raw nuts, are actually not heavy, yeah, in that way. You don't gain weight with that. Of course, I eat a piece of cake and feel happy, but I don't feel like full or loaded. Poof. Like when I was a great cake eater, my grandma, all my grandmas and their aunties, there were dozens of old women when I was little in the village. When birthday party was, they always made cakes. And you had to eat 3 pieces. Yeah, one of each was the absolute minimum. Everybody had to eat that. The biggest guys, the smallest guys, they forced everybody to eat 3 pieces. The ladies, you can't resist. So I love cake, you can imagine, the best cake. But they were really heavy. These are so different. Here, this is the top layer. I will put a little bit a foil on top. That's good because when you have a foil, I show you in a moment. So here for you it's a moment. To me it will be a whole night because I put it in the fridge now. And then I show you the foil. And when I have the foil, no puddles. Yeah, no wet puddles on top because the foil keeps that from. I show you that tomorrow in the next moment. Yeah, see you in a moment. I show you the cake and cut a piece out of it. Hey, so it's next day. Here is what I have. I checked already. See, it's hard. It's firm. And this is the foil. I can put it off now, you see. And I will keep that foil because when I take one other piece, I cut a piece out, I will show you right away how to do that, how I do that. Afterwards, I will put the foil back on and put it back in the refrigerator, the cake. Doesn't need to be frozen. Refrigerator is enough. I hope it's firm and has the right texture. I will find out in a moment. So I have here a knife. And what I will do now is first I open the ring. It's a ring, Springform. So the outer ring is opening here. And now I will see if I have to use the knife to drive around, to loosen it from the ring, the cake. Otherwise it could crack. Let's see. Yeah, it cracks open. You see here, just to show you, it cracks open. You see here. And to avoid these cracks, all I have to do is drive around with a knife. It's good, by the way, that it cracks open, because it also shows me that the texture is not too firm. You don't want to have a too firm texture. It's so nice to eat a stone. So it's good to be a little bit fluffiness. So drive around once, and that's enough, and then already it begins already to loosen. I see that already. There's already a split between the cake and the form, and that's all I need. So now I can open it. See? That's easy. And now I show you my cake. I flatten the side a little bit here, just the corner of the top. Make it a little bit nicer. That's all I need to do here. It's easy. On top of the white chocolate layer, and here, just to show you the layer from the sides, you can clearly see this is the top layer. You see, that is clearly to be seen. This is the chocolate, and this is the cheese. Both are pretty similar. Cashews and bananas the base, and then we have different ingredients, cacao butter on top, that's all. And the cheese is with dates, lemon, and coconut oil. So it's a little bit different, but I guess the flavor is quite different. Yeah. Chocolate is not like cheese. Yeah? Yeah. So now I cut out one piece. That's what I show you to see if actually the cake keeps together, but it looks pretty well. So I just push the knife into the middle, to the ground. That's also why it's good to have these layers with the parchment paper, because when you put the knife to the ground and you cut a piece out, you could actually scratch the Springform. That's not good, and then after a while you have to throw it away because then there's too many scratches in there, and that's not good for the cakes. So it's good to have these layers with the parchment paper anyway. So I cut it, and it looks nice, and it looks even, I feel already that the filling, cheese, is soft, and that's a good thing. So the top layer, that is the chocolate, is firm, and the cheese is softer. That's nice. The cheesecake has to be soft, of course. So, and chocolate has to be firm. That's the nature of chocolate usually. So again, second cut. Now I have to be a little bit careful with the outside. Yeah, a small piece only. That's enough. Looks pretty nice. The first piece is always the most difficult. Yeah. So let's see if I can get the piece out. Oops. One more attempt. Here, I put it on my plate, and then I show you. Here, this is my piece, my first piece. White chocolate cheesecake. See? I will enjoy a piece right away, and that's even a breakfast for me. It's a lot of fruit in there and nuts. This time, usually I have a breakfast with more fruit than nuts, but usually I have some nuts too. This time the cake is another way around, so more nuts and a little bit fruit only, and a little bit of fat. Oil. And the coconut oil is a little bit oily, and also the cacao butter is a little bit oily. That's a little bit heavy, but it is still a nice breakfast. So one piece or so and a little bit of fruit or so, a fruit salad or so, that would be perfect for breakfast. You can eat these cakes anytime, and they're not too heavy, very nice and also filling. That's for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe, MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Hey, I don't know your plans for tonight, but here is what I'm about to do right now. White chocolate cheesecake with a nice raspberry on top. Why not? And maybe a little bit of raw food nutrition handbook. Let's see. It'll be nice.